Hello all, welcome back to Battlestar. Yes. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock Resurrection. Of course, game operator and narrator Soul. There is something that has come up a fair bit in the last couple of videos, which I have seemed to have done a terrible job explaining. So allow me to correct this the best that I can. And this concerns fleet positioning and gun arcs on the ships. So one of the hardest things to do is to actually display vessels unless you have them unlocked. Like, for example, we have the Manticore. Manticore is a good scout ship. You know, it does its thing. It comes with very few weaponry on it. Like, it does have a missile launcher, but it does have a pintle gun as well. This pintle gun gives it like 270 degrees of firing arc. Directly in front and below, but not above. It also comes with, I believe, 2 turrets. Yes, it does. On the top at the rear, which gives it the ability to fire, you know, pretty much on an angle this way and above and directly behind. Doesn't come with a whole lot of firepower itself, though. So you got very few turrets. Great range on the ship, but not really ideal. And I know we actually ran into missions where we've engaged these ships before, and the Vipers tore these things apart. There's not much armor to them at all. Like, for example, there's like 30 armor, pretty much all the way around except for the front and the top. That's about it. The Berserk carrier. This is a wonderful little machine. This thing has teeth. The Adamant is actually equipped with light turrets. The Berserk carrier is equipped with medium turrets. So it has a higher punch, and it can indeed reach out a little further than what the Adamants can and engage targets. And it can crack heavy armor a little bit easier than the light turrets on the Adamant can. Now, when it comes down to firing arcs on this ship, you can see that the guns have been placed directly on top of the launch tubes for the Vipers. This means that their depression angle is pretty bad. You might get a couple degrees depression off the side and down, and that's about it. So ideally, you want your target to be above, or either in line or above and further out from you. So that way you can have 5 guns firing on one side, and, you know, if the ship happens to go above you, the guns can fire directly straight up and you get all your guns firing at the same time. When it comes down to belly guns, this ship has none. So your goal with the Berserk is to always have your enemy either directly to your side, above, or directly to your side and slightly above. The other issue is the armor on this thing as well. It's not very good. The Berserk carrier is designed to be a glass cannon in all manner of the sense. It hits hard. It can't be intercepted because it has no missile launchers on it. But it can't take a punch. So you have to be very, very careful when you're using these Berserks. It does come with a Viper wing. Once you get your Veterancy up, you get extra bonuses to Squadron Evade, which makes your Vipers very, very hard to hit, which is great. It doesn't guarantee they're not going to get hit, it just gives them a better chance to evade incoming fire. The Adamant itself comes with a couple things. It comes with damage reduction and turret accuracy once you get Veterancy up. The extra bonus side of having the Adamants is the missile launcher. You can switch out whatever munitions you want. You can have guided torpedoes, flak, debris. You can have ECMs. You can even put nukes on these things. Mind you, they're one and done. But, you know, like when it comes down to nukes, but everything else has a limited amount of munitions to it. But it does help increase the firepower of the Adamant. The Adamant is in the same boat as what the Berserk is. Unfortunately, it only happens to have 4 light guns on each side. So your damage is not only reduced from the fact that you're using light guns compared to mediums, but you also have one less of them, and you don't have anything on your belly. nor along your spine on the top. So again, just like the Berserk, your enemy has to be either directly off to your side, directly above, so you can have all 8 of your guns firing, or off to the side and a little higher on the plane, so that way you can have your half of your guns firing. So the other trade-off with the Adamant is it does have better armor. In fact, it has really good armor, all things considered for the size of ship it is. And for the points cost, this is great. You have a vessel that can, kind of pull double duty with the light guns or the light turrets. You have a better chance of engaging fighter swarms and destroying fighters than you do with the larger guns. You have the firepower increase with the guided missiles or whatever munitions you decide to add into it. Plus, you also have a Viper Squadron. So for 750 points, this is a very, very good ship. I know in seasons past, there's been arguments between myself and some members of the community concerning which ship is better, the Berserk carrier or the Adamant frigate. The frigate will win. It will win just because it has better firepower. But if you need better fighters, then the Berserk is going to be the one you want. It's a catch-22. It's whatever works for you. The Berserk is 100 points less, doesn't have the armor, doesn't have the missile tube, has better Vipers. So you kind of make that call yourself. The Celestra has 0 guns. This is a civilian support ship. All it does is just have drones that will either give armor plating, or it has a munitions raptor on it that will launch to restock munitions for vessels that run out of torpedoes or whatever munitions you have to have this loaded with. In our current fleet setup, because we're running guided missiles, the Celestra is actually set up to resupply 2 ships worth of guided missiles. We can switch this out for any munitions on the field or anything that we've unlocked. And if we say, for example, if we run out of nukes, we could, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've tried this. I think if we load up the ships with nukes, fire the nukes, and then we can restock with guided, I think that works all right. Or I could be incorrect, and you have to strictly use the munitions that the ship launched with in order to restock everything. And honestly, that sounds like it makes a lot more sense. So, while I can't say for certain, I think that second option is probably going to be the most accurate. But there are no guns on this thing. Ranger, we can't actually look at because we haven't unlocked this yet. But the Minotaur, we can. And there's been a little talk about fleet composition, fleet positioning, and again, concerning gun angles on the Minotaur. So let's go ahead and have a look at it. A lot of the Minotaur's firepower is lined up, as you can see here, on the side. You have 6, are they medium? Broadsides are medium turrets, and the top, front, and bottom are heavy turrets. However, again, just like any other ship, if you want the best option, you want to either have your enemy directly to the side, directly above, so you have all your top turrets firing, or slightly to the side and above. So you have 6 mediums, and then if you're slightly off to the side and above, you get access to 7, at minimum 7 heavy turrets. So this is the reason why the Minotaur is so incredibly powerful. Again, if you're looking at it like this, you may even get that 8th turret up on the front here, engaging the target if you're at just the right angle. Again, too, if you have somebody float over top of you, well, that's just terrible for them because everything will be firing directly up, and that is a lot of guns, and that is a lot of firepower. Unfortunately, the belly does not have a whole lot of turrets to it. At most, you have 2 per side. These are heavy turrets, but it's nowhere near the 7 you have along the top of the spine. So, the question that brought this up was the positioning of the Berserks. Like, we have the Berserks down low, and then we have the Battlestar slightly above and just off to the side, providing flat coverage. And the question was, how come we don't have a Berserk below, or not a Berserk, a Minotaur below and a Minotaur above? Well, that's the reason. Gun angle and firepower. If we had the Minotaur above the Galactica, or whatever base star was providing defense, we would only have access to 2 turrets on the belly for heavy turrets. And if we are lucky, there might be just enough gun depression on the side turrets where we'll be able to fire off. As you can see here, the guns are set a good distance away from the very edge of the ship. So your gun depression angle is pretty much this entire slope. And that's all you get. Which isn't very much, like what, 10-degree gun depression? But the closer the enemy ship is, the harder it is to depress the guns. So, again, engaging at distance, either to the side or slightly above and to the side, is the best bet for your vessels. And this is something that follows through with every single colonial ship in the line. Your best bet for your gunships or your ships with the main guns or the broadside guns is always going to be the side and slightly above. You're always going to have the least amount of firepower on the belly. And like I said, that's true for every colonial ship. Even the Galactica has reduced guns on the belly compared to the side and the top. So that's why we're always trying to drop down, try and be a little bit lower than our enemy on the plane whenever we get into an engagement. And that's something you're going to see for everything we do, for every battle we do. We always want to try and get below and off to the side of the enemy so we have our maximum gun coverage. The other reason as to why the Minotaurs hang around underneath and slightly behind the Galactica, like imagine the Galactica was here, is so that way the Galactica can become the focus of attention on from the Cylons. We want all the kinetic fire. We want all the missile fire. We want all the fighters to be focusing on the Galactica when a battle opens. Now, granted, kinetic is not really ideal, but kinetic has a certain range that ships have to get into in order to engage. And the beauty part is the Minotaur has a very nice long range for a majority of its weapons. So, when we're trying to bait somebody into engaging the Galactica or whatever Battlestar happens to be the focus of the fleet, ideally, the Minotaurs or whatever DPS ship we have lined up will be able to kill that ship quickly without that particular vessel getting joined by other friends or overwhelming whatever Battlestar we have's defenses and cracking the armor and getting into the hull. Again, that's why we have the Celestra support ship, always armor plating and putting reactive plating onto our Battlestars first. Our Battlestars are always going to be the center of attention, and we always want them to be as tough as nails and survive as long as possible. The longest a Battlestar can survive in a fight, the better the chances of victory for the rest of the fleet. Not only that, but again, the flak field provided by the Battlestar is essential especially when it comes down to missiles. If we had a ship below and above, especially on the smaller Battlestars like the Artemis, or God forbid you have a Minerva with an incredibly small flak field, you will have to maneuver to engage those missile swarms if the Cylons decide to engage a separate ship on the front line. Our front line is Battlestar, Minotaur, and Minotaur. Look, that's our front line. That's our DPS line and our tank line. Everything else, like the Adamants, Celestra, everything else considered to really support. Granted, we do use the Adamants to swing out and engage other ships, but again, that's because they have that burst damage provided by the missile tubes, and most of the damage comes from the Minotaurs anyways. They crack through armor, and once the armor's cracked, then the light guns on the Adamants can rip through into the hull and do massive damage. So that's one of the reasons as to why I keep these Minotaurs in line. So that way they have optimal gun firing arcs. They're properly protected by the Galactica or whatever Battlestar is providing the flak field. And then we don't actually have to constantly go up and down or maneuver ships around in order to intercept incoming missiles. We always want that Battlestar to be the focus of attention. So that way the Minotaurs or whatever DPS ship we have lined up can engage the enemy, smash them out of existence to protect the Battlestar so that way it doesn't get ripped apart. And away you go. And again, the Minotaur itself does have a decent bit of armor. I think it's, how's the Artemis? It has 5 less than what the Artemis has on the sides. But if you're spreading out your damage across all your ships, it becomes really hard to keep them in the fight, especially if, say, the enemy starts engaging multiple ships at once and then suddenly switches over to one of the engaged ships and focuses them down. You may have drones repairing armor on another ship when that other ship gets focused and you're not able to recall the drones and get the plates out in time in order to offset the incoming fire. So that's why I do it that particular way. But that doesn't mean it's the only way. Like I said, there's plenty of other ways to play this game. I know some of the lessons I've had to learn the hard way by losing ships. But it's always entertaining. Like when it comes down to fleet composition, there's certain different ways to operate a fleet depending on the types of ships you have. If I had, say for example, a Battlestar, let's say we had a Mark II Jupiter, 2 carriers, and 3 Minotaurs. Obviously, I don't have enough flak in order to provide sufficient cover for all of those Minotaurs. So that would be one of the times where I would probably position that 3rd Minotaur either slightly above and to the side of the Galactica, just so that way it has the opportunity to provide a little bit extra damage. Would I maybe focus more on having more Vipers if I can't provide that kind of coverage? Yes. Yes, I would. So that way we'd still have our baseline, fighting ships line, maybe even switch out the Minotaurs for Heracles, which we don't have unlocked yet. But, you know, these are the slightly less armored, but they have a little bit more kick, and they do come with their own flak walls. So if you can't protect it, then it's not a bad idea to also maybe have it able to protect itself. Like say, for example, we could have 2 Minotaurs and a Heracles, and the Heracles can sit way below the Minotaurs and still be able to provide its own flak fire if the enemy decides to engage that ship. That's perfectly fine. But we'll have to worry about that when we get there. In the meantime, let us actually have a look at this mission. I don't think we actually did anything with this. We did.
Recorded MIA by Ministry.
Still working on recon.
But the scouts were
okay, so while that's undergoing, let's have a look at our fleets. FTL is recharging. We've already got Vulture pretty much promoted as far as we can right now. He does need more experience. The current fleet setup, I would dare say, is almost in a position where it can fight on a similar level as what BSG 75 can. I think once we get these 2 Minotaurs, it'll be pretty close. Now, like I mentioned too, the flak field of the Artemis is nowhere near as big as what the flak field of a Jupiter or Jupiter 2 would be. So in reality, it's a little harder to protect Minotaurs with an Artemis than it is a Jupiter or Jupiter 2. We're able to do it. We kind of keep our Adamants in the current fleet kind of behind the ship and then swing them out to engage targets as things move in. That's efficient, but if we get these Minotaurs rolled in and get those Berserks out, we may have to talk a little bit more about maybe focusing on maybe getting an upgrade for the command ship. But for now, that's what we're working with. So let's actually, since we're waiting on intel for that mission, let's go ahead and do mission 3.
I hope you got enough rack time, Commander. We've got an emergency playing out on Pallas, and Galactica needs to go be their hero. Mr. Singh will bring you up to speed.
multiple explosions were detected across the surface of Pallas roughly 6 hours ago. Since then, over half of their pump stations have gone offline. The cause hasn't yet been confirmed, but safe money is on sabotage by the toasters. The Pallas domes have purifier contingencies for at least another 24 hours. That's some leeway before it gets real apocalypse down there. We're escorting a full staff of first responders and will be ready to jump as soon as Lieutenant Cottle has joined us.
Okay, so right off the bat, Cylon threat will increase by 14 upon completion of this mission. That's troubling. Isn't that interesting? This we need to repair. And 390? That's going to be half of artillery that we're going to get as a reward for that mission. Let's go ahead and end the turn, actually. And then we'll check our Wolf in Sheep's Clothing to see how our intel is doing. This is building pretty quick.
Civilian scouts found a couple of freighters recorded MIA by Ministry. No sign of their crews, but the scouts were sure that Cylons had been modifying the ships. Ministry wants the freighters destroyed before they can be used against a soft target.
Intel locked. So it failed. Nothing there. Okay. Battlefleet Gungnir, we're going to jump you in to engage this mission. Let us proceed. Okay, we're starting off 4 targets greatly above us. Oh. Get our replacement Adamant in there. You don't have Mark IIs. Now you do. That is incredibly close. And incredibly high. This should give us time to kind of maneuver a little bit better. And ensure that the enemy is not slamming fire into the tops of our ships. Yes, let's do this. That's a little bit too far, or too close. And then the Berserks. That'll give them room to maneuver. The Artemis is going to be really slow with rising anyway, so everyone else should be able to rise faster than it can. Let's try it.
Prepare to jump in 3, 2, 1. Hostile marks with a couple of Colonial IFFs. Freighters are painted hostile and ready to destroy, Commander.
All right. First things first, all birds get in the air. Celestra. Get her right side of the Artemis plated up. And we're rising.
Got it. Yes, Commander.
Should still have a pretty decent angle if somebody rushes us.
Action stations, this is not a drill.
All right, Vipers, let's get eyes on. Get everybody focusing firing on the first guy coming towards us. He's not going to give us a whole lot of time to do anything, is he? That's okay. Gonna dip out of there a little bit. We got one launch so far. That is probably Nemesis. Probably one Talon back there, and maybe Revenants or Arachne? Arachnes would have fighters. Potentially could have fighters. Maybe Revenants. We are guessing. And I'm terrible at guessing. They're also kind of splitting up, which is not good. Because if those are Arachnes, as soon as they get eyes on us, or if they're packing torpedoes, we're about to get a whole lot of weapons fired at us.
So say we all. So say we all.
On the bright side, we have plenty of room to maneuver, so maybe not too big of a worry.
Target is 45 by 99.
Guided missiles.
Solution updated. Target acquisition maintained.
Whole lot of missiles. Okay, those are probably Nemesis then. 3 Nemesis and a Talon. Is that all coming towards the Artemis? It looks like it. Defense. Black up. I would love to rip that guy apart. Actually, let's grab 2 squadrons and engage that one enemy squadron.
Target.
Get some missiles out on that target so the Vipers don't rip them apart.
Yes, Commander.
Set you guys up for full defense. I'm pretty sure all those missiles are coming for the Artemis. Let's find out together.
Missiles incoming.
Nemesis down.
Fire.
Yeah, one got through. Might be a couple more getting through here. Vipers, I need eyes on. We have no information, and I desperately need that. And actually, seeing as how we have probably 2 more Nemesis left, let's start twisting and engaging. Berserks as well. Flak caught the rest. Perfect.
Station is online.
Hostile unit identified.
Eat him alive. And there's the other Nemesis. Alright, cancel flak. Let's get everybody mixed in here. Except for the Celestra. Let's see, in that position, Berserks. Even the good news on the broadside. Adamants. Give it a turn and away we go. We might not be able to kill him in time. Adamant's back to defense. Flak up.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Well, have you dropped down? The other 2 Adamants already out this far. Just swing back in.
Got it.
And Berserks. Full attack, focus fire. You got 1 missile off.
Switching gun to manual.
And the Talon's about to have a really, really bad day.
Coordinate recall actions. Our people have been through enough today.
Cool. All right. Vipers.
That's right, frackers. That's right.
There's 2 Colonial freighters out here. Just 1? 2. So the Vipers after that one. Adamants. Missiles out on that, please.
That got a little messy. They never stood a chance.
Cleanup order received. Rally on.
Ah, hitting debris. Gotta love it. Sometimes you just gotta love it.
Clean up and go home. Reaching bingo fuel.
Alright, is this gonna spawn anything? Probably not. I don't want you to turn into and then accidentally hit somebody.
All right, let's bring our people home. Order received to clean up and de-escalate.
One's down. Vipers, how close are you to the other one? Very close.
Sweep the deck and prepare for catch. We're done here.
This might need 1 more turn.
Prepare base for catch.
Nope.
We mark 1 eyeball.
All hostile marks have been destroyed. Hate to think where the original crews ended up.
No, you don't want to think too much on that one. Hey, we got some ship level ups. So, the Artemis is now experienced. Same with the 3 Adamants here. I will talk about that after the replay, but replay incoming.
Action stations, this is not a drill. We're gonna hammer the frackers till they can't get back up.
Target is 45 by 99. Solution updated. Target acquisition maintained.
Eat this, toaster. Firing solution is online.
They're giving us a hell of a storm, sir. Get him! Get him! Get him! Switching gun to manual.
Coordinate recall actions. Our people have been through enough today. That's right, frackers. That's right. That got a little messy. They never stood a chance.
Cleanup order received. Rally on me.
Time to clean up and go home. Reaching bingo fuel.
All right, let's bring our people home. Order received to clean up and de-escalate.
Sweep the decks and prepare for catch. We're done here.
Prepare base for catch. There'll be Mark 1 eyeball any moment.
All right, let's talk a little bit about our ships leveling up and getting veterancy, shall we? Every ship in this game, except for the fighters and raptors, gains experience for every fight it goes through and survives. So, for example, Battlefleet Gungnir. I'll give you an entire list of what it gets right here. Right now, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, that's weird. Anyways, because she's got a level up, she gets plus 3% damage reduction. You can actually see that if we go into the Artemis Battlestar. You can see it gets damage reduction and max distance. So max distance means travel distance, pretty much. Like right now, the ship is very, well, it's not very slow, but it's slower than a lot of the ships in the fleet. It's 120 meters a second. The Jupiter 2 is like 90. Yeah. Same with the Jupiter. Yeah. Minerva's get 125, but like the Adamants get 150. The Berserks 145. Your Manticore corvettes are 180 meters a second. They're very fast. But as the ships level up, they'll get the first level of their veterancy, and then they get the second level, and it gives them the extra bonus. So, for the Artemis, we have... Oh, not the Artemis. Yes, the Artemis. Confusing Artemis and Adamant. What a wonderful time to be alive. The Artemis gets an additional plus 3% damage reduction. Now, with Vulture being an engineered commander, we're also going to get some additional damage reduction for the flagship, and then plus 20 armor. So this is going to turn whatever ship Vulture is in command of, sorry, into a very tanky vessel. Right now, the Artemis gets plus 3% damage reduction. If we go into the blueprints and look at the Jupiter and the Jupiter 2, they both get the same bonuses, damage reduction and firewall regen. So I think it's either 3 or 5% for the Jupiters for damage reduction once they get their veterancy. I think the best option is to look at BSG 75 and see where the Galactica is. So yes, right now it is plus 6% damage reduction, plus 20 firewall strength, and plus 10% flak damage so far, and that's not even the last level. I can't remember if at the max one they get a little extra bonus to all of their bonuses. Can't remember if that's the way that shakes out, but we're going to find out here shortly. So as you can see, the more advanced ships get obviously better things as they level up. The Jupiters get 3 things, Minerva gets 3 things, yaw control, marine strength and turret accuracy. Yaw control allows it to pitch up and down, roll left and right a little bit better. Marine strength is good for defense of the ship, and turret accuracy obviously makes its turrets significantly better at hitting their targets, which is very good because the Minerva turrets are pretty terrible. As you can see here, it does get damage reduction and turret range as well. But it's one thing to write it down on paper, it's another thing to actually make it an effective vessel. What are we looking at here? For Gungnir. Let's repair the fleet. And we have, I believe, both Minotaurs are ready. Yes, they are. Let's transfer our Berserks to Fleet 22. And then we'll get our Minotaurs transferred over to Battlefleet Gungnir. And now that we remember that some of these ships do not appear on the table, it's very important to make sure we get that switched out. Now, each fleet has a maximum of 7 ships it can have in it at any given time, not including a support ship. The support ship is free. Doesn't cost any points. You just slot it. It doesn't even take up any of your maximum fleet cap you can have. But currently we have 650 points free still. Well, what do we do about that? Well, we could potentially even look at maybe doing a quick little upgrade for some of the ships that we are running. We could, for example, if we really wanted to, unlock an Atlas. The Atlas would provide us with the fighters that we lost, but we'd have to remove at least one more ship in order to make it happen. Conversely, we could do something a little funky here. We can grab the Artemis. Oh, that's 150 points over. Let's say we can get a second Battlestar into the fleet if we wanted. Would it be worth losing another Adamant and then slotting in another Battlestar and a Berserk? I don't think we don't have enough points to slot in another Berserk as well. Yeah. We'll live in limbo for now. But as far as ships go, what else can we do? Minotaurs are 900. We could unlock a Heracles. One more gunship. We could also unlock missile cruisers. The Janus cruiser is very nice. 3 tubes for missiles. Decent armor. Doesn't have a whole lot for weapons. But this ship is kind of designed to be in the rear of the fleet anyways, off further than what the Celestra would be, you could say. So that way it has the ability to, if it wanted to, rise above the flak fields and take a shot with all its missiles at somebody. And, you know, if someone decides to swarm the main battle line, it can provide fire too from the bottom guns. Not very good. It does come with munition salvo size and damage reduction. Damage reduction on this one. If your missile cruisers are tanking damage, something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. But the munition salvo size is very nice. Ranger Cruiser is 950. And the Ranger Cruiser is just a weaker version of the Janus. And they both cost the exact same. Janus is obviously more expensive to build, but for fleet points, they're both 950. If you want a missile cruiser, the Janus is probably going to be your best bet. The Ranger does come with veterancy bonuses, ammunition salvo size, and max distance, but really it's got no advantage over anything. It does have broadside turrets, but with armor like this, that's kind of a toss-up on that one. Ooh. In order to make maximum use of the points we have, I could unlock the Heracles and switch them out with the Minotaurs. So there's all its guns. It has its, let me see if I can zoom in here real quick. You can see the point defense guns along the broadside. And then, of course, the rest of its guns are along its spine. But it's designed so that way every single gun it has, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 can engage a target. And these are heavy turrets. So, just, it hits a little harder than what the Minotaur would. And because it's a little harder to get these front guns engaging a target. But it doesn't have the complement here. But it does have its own flak field. So say, for example, if the stuff hits the fan, or say you want to get, if you have missiles being fired at your Heracles instead of the your Battlestar, if you want, you could literally shut off the flak field on the Battlestar and then get the Battlestar main guns fired. Now, is that a whole lot on an Artemis? No. She's got chin guns and 1, 2 base star artillery turrets on the bottom. For her, again, upper spine is going to be your best bet. Well, we got them unlocked. It'd be a shame if we don't use them. They are a little pricey. But not too bad. Just gonna take a few turns to go ahead and get that done. Let's get the Galactica here. We'll jump in and do the mission. But this resource mission, let's have a look at it.
From Ministry, Commander. This particular fleet is one of the central pillars of Cylon Command in this sector. We take it out, and Cylon Foundations will be that little bit weaker.
Let's see if we can get some intel on it. Line up Vulture with his next mission, and away we go. We are also going to have to get another officer lined up, so we get our second mission fleet lined up, so that way Galactica doesn't have to do mission runs. And this one's going to be sketch, because we have ships to defend here. And in reality, until we know any better, this is probably the best formation we got. Which means whatever happens, we're going to have to scramble. Actually, the best formation is probably this. That way, whatever happens, we can kind of compensate and adjust very, very quickly. Let's get our Assault Raptor in here. There we go. Let's bring it.
Prepare to jump in 3, 2, 1. Jump complete. No hostiles present in Dratus range. Damn, I was positive the toasters were behind this.
We've done this before, Commander. I'm not here to hold your hand. I need those response ships to break sky in 15 minutes before people start dying.
What's the hurry? Pallas Core Control says we've still got 20 hours before the domes are compromised.
For total habitat failure, sure. Except those domes are springing leaks every minute, and I can guarantee you the Palladians do not have a pressure suit for every civvy down there. You ever suffer from hypoxia, kid?
I don't think you're that much older than me.
Low oxygen starts with nausea, or a bit of numbness. Maybe your arm starts to spasm, or you get a cluster migraine, start seeing colors. Breathing speeds up, body pressure starts to rise. A problem when your environment pressure is dropping. The suit shortage down there ends with people's sweat literally boiling off their skin. There are children and elderly looking at a very painful, unmerciful death. So how about we ignore your thermostat and get on with saving those people?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. Okay. Get our birds in the air.
Launching Alert Vipers.
Now this is where it gets difficult. I don't know which side to plate up on the Galactica. We'll start with the right side.
Launching drones.
Let's see where that takes us. We need the fleet to move kind of as one. So we'll grab the slowest ship and make sure everyone stays with that one,
Commander.
which happens to be the Galactica. And you guys, until otherwise told, stay in formation, move towards the target zone. Uh, 3% failure on the habitat already. That's good. Can't boost your drives any further, which is a shame. Still nothing. Okay, everyone seems to be staying at the correct speed. I don't think I have to keep on doing that.
Yes, sir.
Vipers, I'm going to have you defend this group. We will send our Raptors out a little bit. Good news, I played to the wrong side. Oh, no I didn't. Oh.
Straightest contact. Multiple Cylon ships.
Looks like your bet was right, Mr. Singh. Round in the support ships. They aren't risking atmospheric entry while we have bogies in the area.
Crap. Adamants, we'll get you guys to engage these two right off the bat.
Yes, Commander.
You can focus fire on anyone. Maximum radius range. You guys are gonna peel back. Still got Viper support, which is good. Hopefully there's not too many fighters getting launched. Galactica is fully plated on one side. So let's get the left plated. I don't know where I'm going to be juking to, so it should be kind of interesting.
Optimizing firing solutions.
Missiles incoming.
Which side? Which side? Those appear to be going for the Adamants.
So say we all.
Vipers are doing what they can.
Yes, sir.
Keep you guys bobbing and weaving. Flak out on the left side. Celestra, I'm going to have you dive down just in case. Just in case the Vipers don't stop all of those, and I don't know if they are going to.
Missiles incoming.
We're gonna hammer the
That's
crap.
come back hostile. That's come back hostile.
Escort priority 1.
Squadron is taking fire.
Solution updated. Target acquisition maintained.
Not all of them. Oh, hello, Battlestar and Arachne. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Adamants. Who's taking all those torpedo hits? You are. Good to know. I think we had you on defensive fire. Switch you over to offensive though. Fire munitions directly at that base star. Yeah, Nemesis Arachne and Nemesis. And the Raider Squadron. You moving over here so we can see what's in that group. Get that guy knocked out. You guys need to be juking like crazy. And everybody else get stuck in.
Firing solution is online.
We can take it. Kinda. We're taking hits to the top. Oh, that's because of you. Yeah, the civilians are clear. Minotaurs. Breakaway. Breakaway and engage. Adamants. I don't know where those torpedoes are going. But we need that Arachne down before he reloads. One turn to reload. You had armor piercers. Of course you did. Same with you. One turn for you. Top was taking a hit. Get that top replated.
Launching drones. Missiles incoming.
I'm hit!
IFFs have come back hostile.
Ooh, okay. This timer sucks. What else do we got? Guided missiles incoming. Defend those guys if you can. What a wonderful mess this is. Got one Nemesis down. You're ready to fire again. I don't like that at all.
Got it.
Well, the Galactica spin around. Launches are still reloading.
Got it.
Please tell me there's no one behind us. That we are okay. We're good. Minotaurs. Focus fire. So all that talk about fleet formations just went right out the window as soon as things did not go as planned. Gotta love it.
Adamant is taking damage. Missiles incoming.
Incoming!
Friendly squadron is done.
We turned too much. We turned too much. We're gonna take a lot of hits to the rear. Rear armor's holding. On the bright side, Vespid Bomber Squadron. Hello? Bombers? That's not ideal. Alright, Minotaurs, I need you to kill him quick. Galactica needs to turn back. How are we sitting?
I'm on it, Commander.
And we're going to catch all those missiles anyways. Top has been replated. I'm going to need to replate the rear. You're ready to fire, but hopefully we have the flak aligned so we can intercept. And your left side is cooked. All right.
Accepting.
Friendly squadron is dark.
Firing on target.
Commander, I cannot stress the time pressure here. The Palladians won't get a second chance at breathing. We move in too late, and all we'll find is a planet of desiccated husks.
Otto, I am trying. All right. Arachne's about done. Adamants. I need these guys to split up.
I'm on it, Commander.
And we're going to fire everything we got. This for the front group of you. And the other group is going to be at that. Ooh, 30% failure already.
Got it.
Cancel that flak, go full attack.
So say we all.
And it's too late, far too late for debris mines. All right, we got some plating put back on, but let's get that right side. That seems to be the side we're going to be focusing on. Minotaurs can turn.
They're giving us a hell of a storm, sir. Switching gun to manual.
Nothing but the rain.
More bombers. And that's all going for the Adamants, hopefully. Hopefully we can go ahead and do one of these.
Yes, Commander.
You get the back ones to kind of peel away a little bit. What a mess. But Galactica is not being focused, so that means 100% everybody gets to eat Battlestar artillery. I hope you enjoy your meal. Let's focus fire on that guy. Same with you guys. Boost away.
Marks incoming on priority 1. Target acquisition approved. Now.
That's an Adamant down. Those guided missiles were not going for the Galactica. Okay.
I'm on it, Commander.
Time to focus a base star.
So say we all.
Ready. The other Adamant no longer has to boost.
Yes, sir. Centurions aboard one of our ships.
Target is 6 to
Missiles incoming.
9.
Vipers are busy. And you have borders. We're going to eat the missiles, and that'll be all right. Base star's almost down.
Got it.
Yeah, we're just having fun. This is fun. This is fun. Absolute mess of everything. Minotaur is gonna need you to boost.
So say we all.
I need to get in range to hit something.
Missiles incoming.
Borders are gone. Start firing at that target here shortly. We are at 40% failure rate. Ugh. Let's see what we're dealing with here. It's all going for everyone else. You know what? We'll keep you boosting.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you'll be able to outrun the guided or get back into Galactica's flak field, but it's something. So the good question is, who's got boarded? Like, who got boarded? I think it was the Galactica, but I think she managed to repel the boarders. Which is alright by me.
Friendly squadron is dark.
We're losing fighters.
Adamant is taking damage.
Those heat-seeking torpedoes, gotta love them. Ay, ay, ay. A lot of debris here, trying to figure out where everything is.
Yes, sir.
And no point in firing missiles. The Vipers can hold on for a little while longer. We might be able to get rid of everybody else here on the map.
Got it.
Which would be golden. So we got to get these guys down. Hydra's out of here. Hopefully.
We're taking sustained fire.
We got some intercepted.
Damage.
Not all of them, but some of them. Hey, is anyone going to show up on Dratus yet? The answer to that is yes. But only if I go defensive. Let's get the Adamants in range. You could stop boosting. And take up a spot right behind the Galactica. Well, hi, base stars!
Keep that flak wall up.
We're taking fire.
Lead Minotaur is not going to be doing good. Left side is done. Overwhelming firepower before we get killed here.
Got it.
I think we are doing just fine. You guys need to not get that close. Minotaur's gonna be taking hits. Big hits. Can we boost? Is it worth the push? Your best armor is your top armor. Ugh. Get under.
Yes, Commander.
I don't like using spares, but we do have a few.
Minotaur is taking damage.
That's what you get, frackers.
Order received to clean up and de-escalate.
That got a little messy.
Come on, kill him quick.
All Cylon marks are clear.
No! We lost him at the same time.
Probably time to start your people in crisis training. Gut feeling says this isn't going to be the last one you'll have to attend.
I hope you're wrong, Doctor. Battlestar armor is redundant if they use our air to kill us, instead of their bullets.
Big sad. Big sad. I thought we were going to get away with just losing the Adamant and trying to outdamage the base star before he killed the Minotaur. Oh well. Replay incoming.
Optimizing firing solution.
We're gonna hammer the frackers so they can't get back up.
Escort priority 1 still online. Solution updated. Target acquisition maintained.
Firing solution is online.
Incoming!
Come on, come on, come on. Accepting.
Firing on target. They're giving us a hell of a storm, sir. Switching gun to manual.
Nothing but the rain.
Marked incoming on priority 1. Target acquisition approved. Get me manual controls now!
Get him. Target is 62 by 99. Keep that flak wall up.
We're taking fire!
That's what you get, frackers.
Order received to clean up and de-escalate.
That got a little messy.
So, that also kind of proves my point where I mentioned too that we don't want to be engaging enemies on multiple fronts. You only get one flak field to defend the fleet with, or if you're lucky, you may get a couple extra, maybe 2, maybe 3, depending on your point usage. But then again, too, you can't cover all angles all the time. So, if we can engage enemies at angles that benefit us greatly, things are a lot easier. When it becomes an absolute mess like that, where you have to engage the enemy at 3 separate locations and you're timed, you don't get the luxury of just sitting back and trying to reposition and force the enemy to play by your rules. So you kind of have to brute force it sometimes, and of course, unfortunately, when you brute force things, not always a good thing. Yeah, look at that. Ugh, that threat level.
I understand Pallas core control is mostly back online. What do the numbers on the ground look like, Doctor?
The casualties are at 12,000, with another 20 on site still at risk.
Merciful Ares.
Nothing merciful about it. Question is, what's got Lachesis so riled up it decides to swing low and target the goddamn air we breathe?
Clothis was adaptable and manipulative, but Lachesis expected us to be squashed under its boot by now. Something's changed. It's rushing.
Perhaps it sees no other option. External pressures may be forcing it to act rashly.
Depopulation is a hell of a shortcut. You folks are going to want to figure this out fast. If Lachesis wants ecological warfare, things are going to get biblical real quick.
And there we go. So, well, on the bright side, we just so happen to have a couple ships that we can switch around. Yeah. Gonna reinforce the fleet. That was like, that sucks. The Cylon threat spiking like that. +1 FTL jump cooldown, 40% repair costs, plus 10% Cylon reinforcement risk, which is always a fun thing. Gotta love the reinforcement, where they just jump in extra ships just to ruin your day. And 20% build costs. Oh, we don't want to do anything at the moment here, except for trying to burn that down. Unfortunately, though, that's going to be for next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this episode at all, by all means, please don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to support the channel at all, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment on down below. And on the matter of comments, if there are any more questions about how gun angles work or how the ships themselves work, I'm not a full-fledged specialist in Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, but I'm more than happy to assist in any questions that may be out there concerning the game. So don't hesitate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay warm, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, all.
I'm inbound on your starboard. 7 high 10.
Eat this, Toaster. Target acquisition is screwed. Give me manual controls now.